On today's episode of the Good Random Podcast, I give my instant reactions alongside professional caster and friend ReddySet. We review the World Finals group stage immediately after they came out. We talk about LCQ, which had happened a couple days before that, and we have some fun jokes and laughs about the Shooting Starr Giveaway and what we would do if we ended up winning it. If you want a chance to end up winning it, one of those 5 golden tickets or guaranteed 170 gems, I'll be giving away a few of those codes as well, so stay tuned later on in the video for a chance to try and win those. With that being said, if you are watching the videos or listening on wherever you're listening, be sure to follow or subscribe. It's absolutely free and the easiest way to help the channel grow. Appreciate you all. Now let's get into the interview with ReddySet. All right, welcome back. We have got a very special guest on today's episode. He is the owner of Code Reddy and the other half of Kenny Sets is none other than my good friend and co-worker, ReddySet. Reddy, we've had a pretty crazy day of Brawl Stars just over the weekend, having LCQ. World Finals groups got released today. We know what is going to go down. We know all the matchups, at least to lead off on the first day. First of all, I mean, anything wild kind of stand out to you here in terms of the group? Is there anything that you're looking forward to most in terms of, you know, A through D here? I think it's going to be a pretty interesting Worlds.
It's kind of funny. Like, I saw someone tweet out saying, like, bro, you know, this group is so free, and they didn't name a group. And I was like, okay, like, well, hold up. I gotta, you know, like, psychically figure out and visualize which one of these groups is the free one. And so I just actually asked, and they're like, bro, it's Group A. And I'm seeing Revenant, I'm seeing Luminosity in here, and like Revenant, they just did very well at LAN, so I wouldn't write them off entirely. But also, the Chinese team is in that group, so I get it a little bit. Don't want to like dunk on them too hard, but like historically, not a very strong showing. So that group stands out to me in particular. I'm very excited to see Stamina face Zeta Division, because I had those two as making it to the Grand Finals, and now they're literally in the same group.
Wow. Yeah, and now capping that off too is a pretty wild thing. I think there's no freebies. I think to the general public, no matter where mainland China got drawn, it was gonna kind of be seen as that anyways. You know, the top 2 are going to make it. And yeah, like you said, not to dunk on them, but obviously playing under very different circumstances, not even things fully in their control, of course, but newer to the game. Some of these guys have been playing this game for 5 years. You know, they are at a little bit of a disadvantage in at least experience sense, but you never know. I think some of these guys have even played at LAN before, and heck, it's a group stage. All they got to do is win 1-2 and be the best that day, and who knows? They could pull some spoilers. I think some of these LCQ teams certainly did too. I think Group A, though, is an interesting one. I mean, I think Luminosity and Revenant obviously having a little less experience here as well kind of gives them that boost and maybe a little bit of a confidence booster, if you will, just given their groups. But yeah, I mean, you go down the list. We got Group A, which is really fun. Obviously, as being from NA, the two of us, it's going to be really cool to see Luminosity with pretty good odds to move into day 2. Revenant, obviously, with a huge shot here, and then heck, BC Gaming, maybe they shocked the world. Group B, I mean, having Tribe Gaming and Reply Totem rematch for another time this year, and then on top of that, we get NAVI in the mix as well. So 2 EMEA teams and Tribe Gaming, pretty awesome. I mean, we get a Masters Grand Finals literally in Group B, and then let's just throw in one of the most historic teams, 2021 second place. Like, I don't know, man. Group B kind of stands out to me as a banger too. There's really no freebies here. I mean, Tribe and Reply Totem is a pretty spicy one for me.
So I actually, well, first of all, Tribe Gaming and Reply Totem is going to be fire.
Yeah.
Reply Totem, that's interesting. That one kind of slipped my radar a little bit because I had my eyes on Zeta Division so much in EU that I almost forgot about Totem, because they have such a strong land showing. But Tribe, I believe they took down NAVI first round at Worlds last year.
Yep.
Second round. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think they did NAVI and then SK back to back.
Okay, sheesh, dude.
Yeah.
And so like Tribe Gaming, also they're looking like pretty strong towards the end of the season. Never know what's been going on in the couple months.
Sure.
They've been taking a break. They got to get back in shape and stuff too. But I think Group B is probably going to be the most entertaining group for all sides. Even though it is just NA and EU, it's probably one of the like denser one. I guess we could say the same for Group C, honestly. Or nouns
Yeah.
we forget about now. Z Division and Stamina, I'm expecting to be a big one. Luminosity also. One of the things that I worried a lot for them, because I feel like Luminosity, like they have the clay, they have the material to be the world champions. I think that like Stamina could still beat them out if they play
Yeah.
against each other. But I think one of the main things holding back, I think the biggest thing holding back Luminosity right now is the fact that they don't have really LAN experience. Like Chino and Patchy have been at LAN before. They didn't do too well, and it was also uh, actually over a year ago by now that they were in Seattle playing in that LAN. So we know how important LAN experience is. We saw it happen to Vatra last World Finals, where they were like kind of nervous up on stage. So they objectively got a less stacked group. Let's clear that out of the way first of all. They're facing mainland China, and they're facing Revenant, who, despite being a very good team, I'm tempted to say that their opponents in LCQ to make it to Worlds were, I mean, look, in order to get to Worlds, you have to eliminate the non-Worlds caliber teams. And I think Luminosity Gaming is perhaps more so of a Worlds caliber team than Revenant Esports. That's kind of just putting it very politically correct here. So I think Group A could be a good warm-up, pretty much, for Luminosity Gaming. Everything's going to be tough in the World Finals.
Yeah.
But Luminosity, hopefully they find their form up on stage, and then they're actually able to give us a, no nerves, experienced up on stage show on day 2.
Yeah, I'm high hopes for these guys too. Obviously, I think the potential's through the roof. Revenant shows some good stuff, but in all fairness, like you said, I mean, I definitely get what you're getting at here. Like, kind of the same concept as BC Gaming, right? We've seen Luminosity go through the fire of what is NA West and compete against some of the best in NA, and they have those scrims and backing and practice all year long. It's just with Revenant, there's more of a question mark, I think. And with BC Gaming, same can be said too. I mean, BC Gaming, we've got the least information on, so I am kind of curious to see how that all goes down. I thought one thing that was interesting is you mentioned that you had, before anything, before seeing groups, before bracket release, just going off pure gut, and what we've seen this year, you said Zeta Division and STMN would have been in your grand finals. We have yet to, outside of, we didn't see them at Masters at least. Obviously, Zeta Division just popped off at a LAN towards the end of the year here. But STMN, big win over Crazy Raccoon this year. They've had great matchups. We got to experience watching them in San Diego and casting that, which was pretty amazing. They've got Nouns in the group as well. What about Zeta Division do you think makes them stand out to you? Now that you see them both in Group C, they can still make it out of their groups, depending on how the day 2 bracket shapes up. They could technically still make the grand finals, but after seeing this group, do you still have that level of confidence of Zeta Division and STMN being finals calibers teams?
I mean, look, I think that they're both very capable of doing it. It's pretty much exactly what you said, but for Zeta Division, I think my reasoning is a little bit more shallow, because I'm going to be straight up with y'all. I've not been keeping up with EU diligently. So when I see Zeta Division in first place and they kind of clap every single person at LAN and they do really well in monthly finals, I'm tempted to say that Zeta Division is like the best EU team. Reply Totem, I think, very closely rivals that, at least in my mind. So at LAN, Stamina, Zeta Division, I'll stand by it. I still think that they're like championship material.
Sure.
I think that Stamina, honestly, I think if Tribe Gaming had not beaten them at Masters, then they would have won it all. I think that, which is crazy, which is a very bold claim, and it's going to make some people unhappy, but I can never say that I think someone's going to lose without making that team that I say is going to lose unhappy. So we'll just accept that. I think that Tribe Gaming, their focus was beating Stamina, and I think Stamina's focus was winning the whole thing. And I think that less preparation from STMN placed on beating Tribe probably ended up costing them that. And when we saw Tribe face Reply Totem, I think Tribe got a single set, but by any other means, it was not really that close. Like, it was a very one-sided victory there from Reply Totem at Masters. So I still think STMN has material to win Worlds. I said that last year, but I say it way more confidently this year. And here's another funny thing, is that last year, I was so quick to say, okay, NA, they've done so much better. They're going to win Worlds. And then we watch East Asia come back and tear everyone up, and Zeta 1 and Zeta 0 meet each other in the Grand Finals.
Yeah.
And then I swore after that, I'm never going to doubt my guy Tensai ever again.
Can't.
But yeah, but now after like seeing the matchups versus like Reject and seeing Reject perform pretty poorly at LCQ, I now start to question that a little bit. And also after seeing them lose to Stamina as well, I start to question. And then also hearing, now keep in mind, they're just very humble people. But the way that the members of Crazy Raccoon say, yeah, we got lucky, when they talk about their victories, they are not as distinctly far ahead as they used to be. I think that this is probably the end of an era, this World Finals.
Wow. So so we'll get into Group D, I guess, along with that, obviously. But I agree with you. I think this is, at least in the sense that the take I've had since the beginning of the year and something we've talked about on broadcast all throughout the monthly finals that we've casted, this is the most competitive year of Brawl Stars, I think, just period. How can it not be? I think there's been so many good teams. I think the gap that we saw, for example, in something like 2021, behind the scenes, we got a real feel when scrims started going down of, a lot of these players for Crazy Raccoon at the time, being Zeta Division, some of them, we could tell in scrims that these guys were something different. And I think teams started figuring out, it hit the Twitterverse, we got to watch, and these guys just put on a show. I mean, that 2021 team was unbelievable. Then they said, you know what, let's do it twice. And they made Zeta 0 and Zeta 1 last year. So close. We had teams like S-Team and Tribe challenge them. We had those first round scares between teams of guys like on Nouns Esports, for example, who really challenged some of those Zeta players. We had that as a little bit of scare, but then Grand Finals, all was well and good. Zeta played Zeta. Zeta won 2 years of Zeta in a row winning. And this year, I think there's a really good chance that East Asia might get dethroned here. And I'm kind of with you in that sense. So let's talk about Group D a little bit, because I think people might overlook this one. I think this is another one kind of like in Group B, where Tribe and NAVI and Reply Totem have all this history playing against each other, whether that be this year or NAVI playing Tribe in the past. And then Group D, we've got Crazy Raccoon, defending titleists right here. We've got some people who are going to be wanting to gun for either their second or third world championship. Again, crazy statement to make. And then you have Foot and SK, which is just this huge rivalry. And I think this is such a spicy group. SK could have ended up with being just an historic org, so much history, could have ended up going against anybody. It probably would have been a spicy group. But SK Gaming versus Crazy Raccoon, people forget last year as well at MSI, SK put on a different players as well. But as an organization, they took on East Asia and were the closest of anybody, arguably, to beating them in what was arguably one of the biggest matches. Then we have Foot come along in the mix too, and there's some history between these players and the rivalry. What are the odds that you think that Foot or SK can both make it out of this group?
Ooh,
like 2 for 2. Like, what are the odds of that to you, that Crazy Raccoon doesn't make it out of this group? Do you think Crazy Raccoon are a shoo-in and it's between Foot and SK? Or do you think it's not out of the realm of possibility that Crazy Raccoon, in a challenging group where SK looked really darn good at LCQ, we've had Foot that looked good at LAN, barely qualified, have, shown up a lot this year. What are the odds of that given what you saw out of Reject? Does it make you nervous, I guess?
It makes me a little nervous. I honestly, and this might seem really contradictory, but I think Crazy Raccoon does make it out of this group. I think either Foot or SK gets eliminated here. And I think the reason is if we just look at the 1v1s here, I think SK Gaming, a lot of their strength comes, so they are more than just a 3-man squad. They're really a 4-man squad because they got Pedro Guijaro running the drafts and making a lot of these decisions. And now you can have a coach helping you out with the drafts on stage. So that's also a massive change for this year that I don't think a lot of casual fans really talk about. So now you have this versus Crazy Raccoon. Now, newsflash, Crazy Raccoon, they just pick the same thing every single set, bro. And then they out mechanics you. So I don't think that you're really going to outdraft them. You're not going to win by outdrafting them because they always get outdrafted. and then they win anyway because they're just good at this game. Or maybe we can't wrap our heads around it. The other thing is, so Foot Esports, I look to Drage as kind of being at the helm of that team, and Drage faced, well, was it this team? Faced Zeta Zero. So not more specifically this team, I guess like 10 size team, but I really thought that Drage was going to have like the know-how because he does talk with those East Asian players. He like keeps in touch with them, and I thought, oh, surely he's going to know what's up in the East Asian region. And I was surprised to see that whatever he was trying, whatever knowledge he had, was not enough to take him down. Now that's last year, but I know with a lot of confidence that Drage is like the decision maker on this team. And so it's going to come down really to him to think of these drafts and stuff. I just have a feeling that Crazy Raccoon manages to make it happen again. I think Crazy Raccoon has a leg up on both of the teams in their group.
I think this could be a little bit of a spicy one. I'm curious to see kind of how it all goes down. I just don't think anybody's safe this year. I really do. And I think this might be a good moment and opportunity for the Crazy Raccoon people to kind of put the doubt away. I think this is going to be a big legacy moment. Like, these guys could go 3 in a row in East Asia. At least the tippy top could end up being the king of Brawl Stars. And if they do it 3 years in a row, it would be unbelievable. But I think if people are fans of EMEA or NA, I really do think this is about as good of a spot that we've been in, at least in terms of odds, in a long time. And I think last year we saw that in Tribe and STMN kind of get close. And now we've got teams that are gunning for it. A lot of people I think are going to be excited for Zeta. Totem, maybe not the best in the online presence this year, but they have been very, very good at things like Masters. It's hard to ignore the results that they had. Crazy Raccoon, like you said, is still Crazy Raccoon. I feel like there's just a lot of directions that we can kind of go with this World Finals. I think it's going to be a really hard one to predict. Obviously, if you watch my LCQ video at home, wasn't the best thing in the world. I definitely put some faith in some teams, rolled the dice a little bit in some of these best of threes, and I kind of missed on more than I hit this time around. World Finals went well, though, so hopefully I can bring that back like I did last year. But it is what it is. But yeah, in terms of surprises, I guess, in LCQ results, obviously that was this weekend too. Did any of the teams surprise you? I mean, we talked about Reject a little bit, maybe being a team that we both expected to be there. I said in my video, I still stand by it, and it was a take that you probably would have agreed with. I don't want to speak for you, but just based on what you said so far, I said in the video, if there's one team, no matter what, that you have to put a bet on, I said STMN was that team, but I didn't expect them to play Reject. I thought Reject would get a narrow win over NAVI. I was wrong. NAVI played really well. They obviously got the job done. A lot of EMEA as well. Was wrong in the EMEA calls. That's on me. Didn't know what to expect there. They all beat up on each other, but they forged some fire and they were really darn good at the game. So a lot of respect to EMEA. Wrong in that sense. But we had Revenant, a little bit of surprise. Were you surprised with CMGEA's results? I guess what were your big takeaways from LCQ in terms of the teams that we ended up getting?
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised to see Revenant Esports do so well. Like, I was well aware that Sargent is cracked. Now, also in the interview, he's like, "Bro, I didn't carry," but he's being very humble. The rest of the team has really elevated since we saw them last compete internationally at Masters, but Sargent is still the star player. And this might sound like weird, maybe even kind of like condescending wording, so excuse me, but I think if like Sargent moved to a region like EU, then he would still be a top player there. So that kind of metaphor is me saying that you don't really have that many greats in Brawl Stars, and it's amazing that that India, right, has Sargent to sort of propel them towards victory and have someone really to rally behind. Though Revenant Esports, once again, I was surprised to see them do so well. It makes me happy for them. I expected more from Clash also,
Yeah.
for some reason. It seemed like Bobby publicly expressed that this is going to be a tough matchup, but I didn't see as much from Clash as I was hoping for. Just like you said, Reject didn't do quite as well as I was hoping. As far as anything else that surprised me, SK definitely impressed me. They have been looking, I mean, they would agree with me probably. They've been looking in poor form the entire year pretty much. And they pulled it through just at the last second, and they actually looked really, really good. So I'm happy for them too. Honestly, some of these more like dark horse candidates, they all have great redemption arcs. And unfortunately for you and me and anyone who wanted points, that's terrible for your predictions. So, okay, so Kenny, how did you do on predictions? You gotta fess up. I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I mean, we can just air this out. It's a good, it's a little, friend circle. We're all just being a little nasty with each other. Look, it was a best of 3 format, and I think LCQ there's a lot more uncertainty and experience and results compared to something like Worlds 2022, right? This is me just copium. Just let me get through this.
He's setting it up.
I'm cooking here. Let me cook a little. Let me get through this. 2022 Worlds. I missed one. The whole thing. I felt very good about it. I was happy with it. But I had every monthly finals. We'd had MSI. We had context. Also, I had scrims to go off. We had plenty to go off of. This time, didn't have that benefit as much. SK started cooking in scrims, and I said, oh no, my Team Flash prediction may be cooked. Little did I know, however, that Reconic Esports SA was feeling some kind of way, and they just, EA, gone. Team Flash, gone. So I was wrong on that. I think a lot of people were wrong on CMG EA, the casting desk as a whole. Me, at least in the 3 that we got to watch, missed. It is what it is. I was really surprised. I think this was my biggest thing for LCQ. This is a good general takeaway for future predictions. Some I can't. I'm a logical person. I think logically sometimes. Past results do not dictate future outcomes. And that is exactly what happened here. CMGEA had some previous guys make a grand finals in 2022. Didn't matter. If I really wanted to go back and do the whole thought process thing, at the LAN event that they showed up to, and even at Masters, a Choppy played with 2 of those guys at the time. They did fine, but they didn't make top 4. And maybe I should have read into that a little more. I don't want, can't get too into the weeds. Sometimes you just miss, right? Sometimes teams show up on that day. Brawl Stars pro players, they do this for a living. They play this game 8 hours a day. They're the best of the best in the entire world. If they show up on the right day, sometimes it's going to work out. But in general, I would say for me, the APAC takes were a miss for like most people. I mean, that wasn't as unique, I would say. Team Flash was my dark horse that I put my chips on, said they get the 2 seed from their region and maybe squeak by on day 3 or on day 2. Nope, didn't make it past day 1. So there was that. Yeah. As a result, EMEA did better than I expected as well. Group B, I put, you could have told me any result outside. If the only thing I would have been surprised with Group B, so we had STMN, we had VNE Sporting, we had Clash, and we had Chasma Gaming in A. Little heartbroken for Chasma Gaming in A. Obviously, we're from NA. We want to see all of our boys get represented. We cast them all year long. There is a part of us that obviously is happy for everybody, but nice to see a good story arc of them grinding last year and then getting the team chemistry down this year and making it. Would have been really cool. But obviously, they played some great opponents. No shame in how they did. But VN Esport ending up coming out. If you told me VN, Clash, or Chasma Gaming came out of there, really wouldn't have been too surprised just because I respect all of those teams. Revenant and Humble, I nailed it, got that right. Navi Reject, nailed it, got that right, just the wrong order. So it wasn't as bad, but Group A was my biggest miss for sure.
Yeah, okay, so now that you've confessed, I'm gonna just come out the gates and say
turn.
It. I went 3 for 20 on predictions. I did so horribly bad. I did so bad that I thought that the website was messed up and it was showing me the wrong number. I got through the first couple of groups with nothing correct. I got through the first 2 groups without a single correct prediction. Everything went wrong. I was like, okay, Revenant, they'll beat this team, but there's no shot there. Okay, we can even look at the bracket real quick. Okay, Group A.
Yeah.
It was okay. I thought CMGEA would beat SK.
I did too. That's a normal prediction.
Yeah. Well, see, okay, so I thought Reconic would beat Flash. Okay. And honestly, I was kind of
close. It was great match.
I saw something going on. Well, they got to day 2, so it was. Yeah, and it was also a close match. But yeah. Flash wins. Okay, cool. Goodbye, 75 points. I'm not going to get my icon today. And SK also taking the win. Good for them. But at the same time, would have liked my predictions to be correct. I also expected CMG NA to do really, really well. I wanted to see. I mean, look, Rama's a very divisive character. I think that's he's like a very polarizing character. Okay, whether it is his use of the word y'all or his
I do that all the time.
to flex on people and okay, but like we're American, bros from Poland. Okay, I don't know if I don't know about any Polish cowboys. It is a great word.
Great word.
It's a versatile word. However, like sometimes he uses in the wrong context. It looks like he's a little too excited to say y'all. That's all I'm gonna say. But I do really or at least I appreciate at least what he's said online and like some the pictures and stuff where he's made up with NA, he's made peace with people. You just got to meet people in person, bro. It's literally the situation of the two dogs barking at each other and they got like a chain link fence separating them. And that's like the internet, but then bring them in person and like, okay, actually wait, we can be friends. Yeah, in an unlikely situation, maul each other, but that hasn't happened in Brawl Stars yet. So fingers crossed it doesn't happen soon. Though for VN, I was really happy with their performance. Honestly, after they made it to day 1, I was really hoping that they could make it to day 2. Sorry, to World Finals, just because of Rama's attitude. He's just very entertaining to watch. See, like I like to root for the players and the individuals, but this is also a spectator sport. And so I like to root for the people who make it entertaining. So like Zulon's going to be doing Fortnite dances at Worlds. I'm chilling.
That's my guy.
Yeah.
If I see an L dance, I'll go nuts. What's going on, guys? I want to take a quick second to let you all know that I will be participating in the Shooting Starr Giveaway. Supercell has been gracious in giving me a few codes to give away, and one of those will be down in the comments section below. Super easy way to enter. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel, like the video, and in the comments section, comment what your Instagram or your Twitter handle is. That way I know where to find you, and I can send you the code if you end up winning. Guaranteed 170 gems and maybe a chance at one of the golden tickets, which would be pretty crazy. So be sure to enter there or on Twitter at KennyCast as well. So we're doing a giveaway here and we're doing a giveaway on Twitter. So multiple opportunities to enter, all absolutely free. Best of luck to everybody. And with that said, let's get back to the interview. If you're comfy with it, obviously Worlds is, over a month away. But if you had to make some predictions now, if you're just you don't have to think about it. Just like we can go just to the groups. I can't make a bracket. I don't have a hypothetical bracket for you, but you think we can? If I ask you some you think we can get some predictions? How crazy do you think that is?
Rapid fire, dude. Hit me.
All right, are we ready? All right, so we're gonna go down the line here. All right, so we'll start with Group A. 3 teams: Luminosity, BC, Revenant. One has to go.
BC Gaming has to go to the grand final spot. No, Luminosity and Revenant.
You kind of baited me a little bit.
Sorry, I had to bury them like that.
Okay, Group B, we've got Tribe, Reply Totem, and Navi. What's the gut telling you? Again, we have scrims in a whole month, but
Tribe and Totem, and to appease NAVI, I will equip a NAVI profile icon for the next 2 months.
Well played. You gotta cater to those fans. We've learned that. We've learned that over the Twitch chat days. They are a strong fan base. Very powerful people.
It works. I'll tell you a story. Last year at Worlds, Tribe and NAVI, facing each other first round. We mentioned this. And I had placed my predictions out there and I put them on Twitter and I said, players, divert your attention, and if you read this and you get tilted, then that's your fault because I gave you a warning. And I had Tribe beating NAVI when they played, and I think one night I'm outside with Tay, we're just hanging outside the hotel by this fountain that was out there, and NAVI, they're coming back from the venue, they were scrimming, and I think Angel Boy said to me so we saw your predictions. Now, it's not like MMA said this to me, like MMA who could probably with one clench of his fist turn my head into a pulp. But Angel Boy still is that's a whole lot of dude right there. He's a big guy. He's huge. So Angel Boy, says to me so we saw your predictions, but he's messing around, and I was like, it was your fault for looking. But then a day later, yeah, a day later, I forget who told me, but like basically I get word down the grapevine that actually the Navi people are chill with me because I have them added from when I used to like cast some random EU tournaments with Teddy, and I needed to spectate them. Yeah. And they like, so I have them friended and they saw that I had the Navi profile icon equipped. And now like we were chill.
Okay.
Cool. They knew that I was actually a real fan. Yeah.
As a default, that's not a bad call. Maybe as a default, I just equip the Navi pin just to make sure no matter what, we're like all square. Like, no, I'm one of you guys. Like, look, I'm one of you guys. Maybe whichever of the three in that group loses, I'll just equip their pin so that people will know, like, I'm one of you guys. Like, and I love all the teams, but like maybe that's Navi fan base is not one I'm tripling with. I think that's the the biggest one, the biggest thing to ride with there. But yeah, I think
I have the Obey pin equipped. Like I cannot be catching strays from real Canadian. I just got to keep myself safe. I got the Nita holding the Obey.
Wow,
classic.
That's how you know
no
you're
one
an OG.
uses that pin.
That's how you know you're an OG. No, it was a great team. We did enjoy the good old RC. We enjoyed those days for sure.
Big Star. Yeah.
That's right. Good old Jigsaw, man. Some good classic brawlers, man. Take me down memory lane. Okay, Group B. So we're going Tribe, Totem, and we love Navi. That would be our three. Group C, Zeta, Nouns, and STMN.
Nouns got to go. Sorry, Winter. I didn't say anything.
Dang. Group D, Crazy Raccoon, Foot, SK.
Sorry, Drage. But Foot's got to go.
Okay, so you're gonna give SK the benefit of the doubt in this one.
I think so. Yeah,
okay.
I think it's like kind of what. Well, wait. Let me get a quick refresher real quick.
No, you're good. I don't think it's a crazy take or anything. I think this might arguably be the hardest to predict to me because Crazy Raccoon and then we have Foot and SK that have been a very rivaling team, back and forth results. Foot got the best of them the last time they played at a LAN specifically. But even that event, it was not necessarily like a Foot absolutely wrecked these guys every time type thing when it was all four teams. So I think it's going to be very interesting. I think this one is going to be very hard to call. I put you on the spot. Obviously, we go through the teams, but I think in general, this is just we cast the game. We watch it more than just about anybody, and I think in terms of line setters, if you will, this is a good exercise to kind of see a month plus out who the favorites are of each group, and maybe as scrims draw closer and more results come out, things like that. Opinions might change, but I think right now, I think those are very fair. I think that's the majority of people will go with. I think LG and Revenant will be the public's vote. I think Tribe and, well, actually that one's kind of hard to tell because again, there are a lot of Navi fans out there, so I don't know how in terms of voting it'll go, but I think all three of those will receive some votes. I think Zeta and STMN will probably receive the most votes in Group C, especially with Stamina's great performance at LCQ. Group D has Crazy Raccoon, Foot, and SK, and I think Foot and SK going to be a very, very, very close call. So, yeah, I think that's kind of a good summation of how the groups went down today. Obviously, very far away before that happens, but I'm very excited for it. Obviously, it's going to be very fun to watch. Can I ask you one fun question to end us off? Completely off topic, not anything related to Worlds, but a Brawl Stars related question.
Yes.
Okay, so I asked Bobby a fun question too, and I'm trying to incorporate some of these as well because I think they're fun. So obviously the Shooting Starr Giveaway is a big thing right now. My question for you to end this interview, if you won the Shooting Starr Giveaway and you went up to Danny Brawl Stars and you said, hey, this is what I want, what would it be and why? You win the giveaway, you get one wish, and tell me why it's you asking for Crow. Have you seen those memes on Twitter, bro? It's so funny.
I'm not, bro. I want Leon.
Dude, that I saw. I think it was Bobby. I'm sure a bunch of people done it, but I think Bobby made a tweet, and it's like the meme that's going around, and he's standing there. He's just like, me when I asked Supercell after winning the giveaway for Leon. I just thought it was so funny, dude. I thought it was so good.
Bro, no, but like me when I use my wish to get Werewolf Leon.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I could totally see some random like 12-year-old kid, like mom's credit card, just like, I want my favorite brawler, Leon, finally unlocked. I unlocked him. Like I did. Like now I can push him to 500. Like I can see it though. That's the thing. Like can you like Danny's on the other end, like the genie in the bottle, man. He's like, the world is yours, kid. What do you want? He's like, can I have Leon? Like, bro.
Pull up the Danny impression. The world is yours. Like it's not really what he sounds like. I've been like doing some impressions of the Brawl team. Yeah, Sword does such a good Danny. Like it is insane. I can do a Frank. Frank goes like, hello everyone, this is Frank from the Brawl Stars team, and he'll say something like, if you want, we can grant you a wish. You can wish for anything except for money. And gyms in the game, we can grant you a free Brawl Pass. And I think he'd probably like.
I didn't know you had this in you.
He'd like find a way to. Yeah. Oh, dude. I love doing the Frank. I would.
Okay.
It would be kind of embarrassing for him to like find out, but that's like part of the thrill of it. Is that
Frank actually watches this podcast religiously. I don't know if you know that, but yeah, he's actually a huge.
Frank is a pinned comment every single video, where it says where he comments below. Hello everyone, this is Frank from the Brawl Stars team.
That's exactly what my last comment was. Actually, that's crazy that you just.
Well, I mean, I have it right in front of me here.
I know you're just reading it.
That's right. Real talk. If I won the Shooting Starr giveaway, which I'm not going to because I didn't enter any giveaways and I'm giving away all my codes.
Well, I'm going to, so I want ideas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well,
I'm winning.
See, okay. Now, being the person that I am, I would probably wish to get every cosmetic in the game.
Okay.
For like the rest of time. So like when someone wins Worlds, I sort of indirectly win Worlds and I get their World Finals pin. Now,
that's good.
That would be
upset with you.
Imagine that would be my. Actually, wait. I would pretty much understand what I have to do is cause as much chaos as possible. Make the game as basically unplayable as possible. And I'm trying to think of like how I would do it. I would almost wish for like I wonder if whether they would even fulfill this. Like restore every brawler to its most broken state for a day, or a day where you're not allowed to play any brawler except for Edgar. Like that right there.
Oh, that would be nuts.
So good. That would be
Edgar
like
Day.
You just log in and you look at your brawlers and everything is locked. Everything just has that lock icon on it.
Yeah.
Like it's
dude.
And you only play Edgar.
That's devious. No, that's devious. You could, and take it one step further because we're gonna like in this hypothetical. I'm just presuming that the world's your oyster. You call the shots. Mm-hmm. We could literally start Edgar Day, and once a year have a holiday where you have to play Edgar stars. Like that would go kind of crazy. Everyone playing
scarf.
Edgar.
I can go get it. I have the Edgar scarf.
You have the Edgar scarf? Did you get it at Worlds?
Oh yeah. They sent it, gave it to me in 2021. They sent it to a few people.
Oh, 2021. Okay. So 2022 was last year's. I remember that. 2021 though was the Brawl House, right?
The Brawl House, dude.
Welcome
to the Brawl House,
dude.
That's the intro.
I think I've talked about this on Twitch streams before, but one random thing about you that I need the world to know, but I don't think all of the world knows. I swear, you guys, this man knows the intro and music to every single show we've ever done. Like, if you ever pay attention to Masters or monthly finals, like, line for line, the rap to every ESL show we've ever done. You know that song by heart. Like, before shows, after shows, this man, like, on commercial breaks, this man is rapping the whole thing. Or if it's like the intro for BSC, it's like a bunch of quotes from us last year. And I
remember all of them.
Every single one of them. And I mean, obviously, like, as the year goes on, we all start to, but like, every time just before the show, no way. Oh, it's just like every, I hear it. Like, when I think of that, I don't even think of the actual intro. I think of you mimicking the intro that we do every month.
What do you do? It's so funny, dude. Yeah, it's like welcome into the Brawl House, and then there's F dot. He's like the push forward, the punch through.
That's gonna leave a mark.
and then there's Art going like no way, and then Tom goes like ha ha, and then at the end, it originally used to be something else,
Yeah, they changed it, I think, like halfway through the year to mix it up. I noticed that too, because we do it.
Yeah, and then at the end they made it Uber going like, we're about to enter the most competitive day in Brawl history, my friend. Are you ready? If this were just for me, I would wish for every cosmetic. No.
Okay.
I'm dedicated to creating
You're a man of people.
much havoc and pandemonium as possible.
Okay.
And I'm trying to create like a day that will go down in history. You know, if I get to make a wish, I want to make something with the most impact possible. So yeah, I imagine someone just like says, "I wish for everyone to have one gem," and then like millions of people get a gem, and Brawl Stars enters a financial panic because tens of thousands of dollars worth of gems have just been administered. just cost Supercell money.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I like the chaos day though. I think it's a long way of getting there and a lot of fun to do it. But yeah, I like chaotic day. A lot of good stuff. But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up everything I had. We'll obviously get to watch World Finals and all that jazz, see how this all turns out. Early predictions right now, but I appreciate you coming on. This is literally just released, so fresh takes from the ReddySet, always just a straight shooter, which I appreciate. Be sure to use code Reddy. If you're not using a code, support a creator. Why not support our boy and a fellow caster, especially as he has his fresh new monster background and his new microphone. We love to see it. The fresh stuff. But yes, use code Reddy. Appreciate you coming on the show, brother. And yeah, hopefully we get some more casts in pretty soon here.
Dude, thank you for having me on. This is for everyone like wondering. We just like this has always been like me and Kenny is like a mi casa su casa thing. We like stream on each other's channels, remember the cups and everything. So it is just like special guest and everything too. But like we're just chatting, we're just having fun, and I hope we get to do it again. It was a lot of fun, Kenny.
Yeah, a lot of fun. But yeah, peace out. Have a great rest of your night, King.